What's up, D learners? It's your girl, Lady D, DTalford Training Solutions. Whoop, whoop, whoop. So I am sitting here today in Walmart parking lot. I am about to go into Walmart and get my son some notebooks because he needs them because he is going to school. Oh my gosh, what was I thinking? So, this video today is about why I quit unschooling homeschooling in the 9th grade. So if you want to hear this story about why we quit, just stay with me. So I'm going to start out with why we even started homeschooling in the first place. Just a little background. My kids were in a preschool. I was the preschool director. Then when I stopped being a director and started working a full-time job that was not in a preschool center, they went to in-home centers that were in residences. So that means that they went to a child care center, but it was in a house. The whole house was the child care center. They went to centers where families were running the child care center. So as an educator, I did not care about rote memorization. As an early childhood educator, I did not care if they learned to read. I can teach children to read. I tutor children to read all the time. That is not important to me. What was important was, were people gonna love on them and spoil them and just make them happy, and they go somewhere every day where they're just smiling and they're coming home dingy and dirty because they've been playing out in the grass and the dirt. So that was what I valued, and they had such a great time. They actually went to this child care center called Building Blocks Learning Center, and they all went there. And then except for my youngest, I had to switch him to La Petite Academy because of where I moved. But I would have loved for him to stay at Building Blocks till kindergarten. Nothing against La Petite. La Petite, he had fun there. My youngest had a good time. But at Building Blocks, it was just so play-based. It was play. And so my kids had such a great time. They learned so many just different social situations and interactions. So fast forward to kindergarten through 1st grade, they went, all 3 of them went to public school for kindergarten. Then my middle son, due to his ADHD diagnosis, we tried a private school for him. Very briefly, did private school for about a year. That just financially, 3 kids, you cannot just, well, you could if you wanted to, but I could not just choose one child to spend all of our money on. Like, that just wasn't going to work for us. Then we tried a charter school, which the charter school started out being a good choice the first year, but then by the 2nd year, it just was not working out for us. So dragging my oldest son along for the ride. He went through public school. He didn't do the private school with his brother, but then he did do charter school. I noticed when he was in school, teachers would tell me things like that my son that he would talk back to them. And I'm a teacher, so I did not like that. Like, you're talking back. And then I'd ask him what happened. Well, they told me I couldn't wear my jacket in class. Why? Because it's not the right color. So we bought him the color jacket sweater, hoodie, whatever he was allowed to wear in class. Supposedly teacher, oh, I didn't know that was an approved color. Teachers telling him to take jackets off in front of everybody. I don't embarrass my son in front of people. Yeah, at my house, I raise my voice. I'm from Jersey. I yell, y'all. Okay, fine. But still, I'm his mama. But I never embarrass my kids out in public. I never embarrassed them in front of groups of people. And they just kept having teachers he just kept having teachers try to call him out on things. If he would say that he didn't feel something was right, he was always accused of something. So my son, I mean, he's his mama and daddy's child. Like, we both we just don't take no mess, and neither one of us are cursing people out or disrespectful. But you know, you're not just going to tell us that something is one thing and we're just going to believe it. Like, you really have to prove to me that you're right. And so my son and my husband, we're all like that. And so I am used to talking to my kids, explaining things to my kids, explaining why I need something done, and they are just not used to just authoritative adults just bossing them. So it was not working out well. So we went ahead and we took them out of school after the final email from a social studies teacher who told me that my son was failing her class because he was unmotivated, and he was also barely passing science. So for my oldest son to be failing almost 2 classes, you know, kids fail all the time. You know, parents get tutors, parents get help. But something didn't resonate right with me. He's failing, but he can sit here and tell me the different climate changes in different parts of the world. He can tell you the different animals and what ecosystem they thrive in. He can tell you animal habitats. He can tell me just different things about food chain and which animals eat which animal. He watches documentaries for fun. He sits there and tells me facts about what president put freaking hot tubs in the White House for fun. But this kid is failing. So that it was what motivated me to take him out of school. Then I researched on my own, and I watched a TED Talk by Sir Ken Robinson and a Hack Schooling TED Talk by a boy named Logan. And oh my gosh, these set me on my path to unschooling. I just researched and dived right in. So as an educator, I not only know about just basic education, but I know just a variety of pedagogy, like Waldorf method, Montessori, Reggio Emilia, and you know, traditional schooling, Charlotte Mason. So I'm aware and I am versed in a bunch of different types of education. So I said, you know what? I have a master's in education. I have a bachelor's in human development. And at the time, I was teaching education to preschool teachers at a community college. So I said to myself, if I can teach at a community college, I can teach my own kids. So I embraced homeschooling and then embraced unschooling. We have been unschooling off and on, radical unschoolers at times where there is just no structure to our life. We just go with the flow. And I've been eclectic at times and pulled in some resources, but it's always interest led. So the resources I pull in are because my kids are interested in them. For example, in my unschooling video, I talk about us having a math tutor. They love their math tutor. They love everything they do with her. There is no problem with them sitting at the table with her and doing math. So to me, that is an interest. We found a way to incorporate that. So unschooling for all this time, and then my son finishes 8th grade. My husband and I sit him down and say, what is your plan for 9th grade? Do you want to go to public school? Are you interested in dances and going to class with friends? And he basically said, not really. He is definitely a social person. He has lots of friends. He likes to hang out with his friends at church, his friends from boxing, and he's got friends at homeschool football. So, I say all the time, them kids be out there in them streets. Like, everybody knows my kids, mostly in Charlotte. They see them all the time. People be like, oh, I saw the boys. They was walking down West Boulevard. Yep, that was them. Oh, I saw the boys. They was over there by Rivergate walking down South Tryon. Yep, that was them. Because as unschoolers, we trust them. They're out. They know how to call me and tell me they need a ride somewhere, or call whoever they need to get them rides. So we were fine with him going ahead and continuing his lifestyle the way it was, unschooling through high school, and possibly by 11th grade. They have something called dual enrollment, where there are two community colleges in our area. Well, there's one, Central Piedmont Community College, where I used to teach at. Well, I still do sometimes, but anyway, I digress. That you can do a program where you are in high school and in college at the same time. And if you do the program the right way, you can end high school with a high school diploma and a associate's degree. Then also in the state of North Carolina, they have something called Career College Promise, which is where you can have a career path or get linked to a state college, so that all your credits from high school that you took that were college courses will count for your bachelor's degree. So instead of doing 4 years for a bachelor's, you did 2 of them in high school already. So a lot of homeschoolers choose that option in the state of North Carolina. So we were going to do that path. And then my son's main love right now as a 14-year-old is sports. He is a boxer. So yes, he punches people in the face. And if you want to see it, I have his channel linked down below, his sports channel. You are welcome to see him beat the crap out of people if that's what you're interested in. He is a boxer and a football player, and he has recently said that he may be interested in playing baseball. So we're still looking into that for the spring. But so he has a lot of boxing dreams. I don't know where we're gonna go with that. He doesn't get a lot of fights right now. He's only had about 5 fights. So his record is 4 wins and 1 loss. So we want him to be able to pursue what he's interested in. So what happened was, my husband, he's just really into athletics, and he really felt like if Quentin, wants a shot at being better and going to college for athletics, that he needed to go to a public school and not just be on the homeschool football league team. So we thought about, well, maybe football won't be his main sport. That'll just be what he does for fun. We'll make boxing his main sport. He doesn't have to go to a school for boxing, because there's no high school that has boxing, and he can try to work toward going to maybe the Olympics or something like that. Well, we were starting on that path, but then my husband was just really he really wanted us to find a way for him to play sports for a high school. So I started looking into things, and I found North Carolina virtual school, high school, and come to find out that was a charter school. So I was like, okay, well, that's not what I need. So I contacted our home high school, and I said, I heard there's a way to be able to play sports at our home high school and still continue homeschooling through online program. So I found out about the high school here in Charlotte-Mecklenburg schools is called Charlotte-Mecklenburg Virtual High School. So I went on the website and I saw that they had a homeschool section, so I knew I was in the right place. So the athletic director from our home high school gave us the link, and so I went on there, researched, and then this was on June 3rd. And let me tell you, I was looking for the next parent meeting. It was 4:45 on June 3rd. The parent meeting started at 6, and it was 45 minutes from my house. Me and my husband jump in the car with my son and we skirt up the highway to this parent meeting to find out about this school. It sounded too good to be true. They are accommodating to homeschool families. I mean, yes, I am going to have to deal with Common Core, which I did not have to deal with as an unschooled homeschooling mom. I'm going to have to deal with him having to study, maybe make flashcards and take tests and clicking. But he is able to play sports at his local high school, which for him is going to be a big thing. He really wants to be able to do that. So we talked to him and we were like, so do you want to continue unschooling, or do you want to go ahead and try being in an online program? So he made the decision. He said that he wanted this. This is what he wants. So even though to me, I'm all like so sad, I want him to unschool some more. I'm like, oh my gosh, don't ruin my baby. He's so sweet and kind and nice and loving, and don't let high school make him a mean person. So, of course, he is such a strong person. He is such a strong individual. He makes such good decisions, and he has such a close relationship with me and his dad. And I feel like we've instilled so much goodness in him. He gets so much positive feedback from adults, from our pastor, from the people in youth group, from just the places that he goes. I feel like we've put so much good in him. We've filled him up with so much love and goodness that I just pray that we have trained up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it. So that is my hope, is that all the love we've filled him with will help him through his now formal school years. I am so glad that it's online these next a couple of years, and that he will have options for college, and he'll be able to play formal sports at a high school and have more exposure. Like I said, he also has his link down below for his YouTube channel that he puts all his sporting activities on. But this is why we quit homeschool in the 9th grade, and it's very emotional for me. I keep tearing up because I don't know. It's just so hard. I'm going to do a video when I'm less emotional about it and tell you guys about the high school, Charlotte-Mecklenburg Virtual High School, and just what ended up happening when we did the online high school. He already has started football practice with his home high school, so you'll see some videos of that if you click on his link. And he's in his homeschool high school football as well, so he still plays for that. He's still a boxer, so he's still boxing, and we'll see if he plays baseball. So hopefully that gives you some insight on just, you may start out on one path and then end up turning to a different path, and that's fine. I still feel like my son is an unschooler and a lifelong learner. Is he doing interest-led learning? Yes, he picked all of his classes. He picked the classes that he wanted to take. He has to take English, he has to take a math, but he picked the level that he wanted. He's met his teachers. They are used to homeschoolers. They are used to kids that have been interest-led learning and independent learners. No one is going to be on him about did you do this? Did you do that? He's still going to have his freedom. And he's so excited actually to take world history and environmental science. He loves science and history, so he's hoping to learn interesting things. So just as you're doing this homeschool journey, whether you're homeschool, public school, private school, charter school, Waldorf, Reggio Emilia, traditional, Charlotte Mason, you may start that today, but tomorrow something could change in your life. Just be willing and open to just listen to what each of your children need and give them that as a form of education. Don't be closed-minded. Don't be closed off. Just talk to your child, because you may end up unschooling today and quitting unschooling tomorrow. I hope you have a blessed and wonderful rest of the day, and I hope I can stop tearing up. Mwah! Love you guys.